everyone. Today I'm going to be talking about Sociology 9699 with you. First, I'm going to give you a content overview and then talk about one of the past papers so that you become familiar with the kind of questions that are going to come in your exams. So, for Sociology, you have to give four papers. Usually, students give two papers in AS level and then two in A2. So, for the AS level, you have paper one, which has socialization, identity, and methods of research, and then paper two, which is the family. Then for A2, you have education as paper three, and for paper four, you have globalization, media, and religion. So, coming to paper one. Paper one is mainly socialization, identity, and methods of research. Socialization and the creation of social identity include the process of learning and socialization, social control, conformity, and resistance, and social identity and the changes that the society bring to it. Then you have methods of research, which include both quantitative and qualitative types of data. Then you have methods and research designs and approaches to sociological research and research issues. So, this is a very, very important paper because it introduces you to the kind of it introduces you to sociological perspectives and the terms that are going to be important throughout the syllabus. Then you have paper two, which is the family. It includes theories of the family and social change. It also gives you an insight to how the family types have changed during recent times and how there's a huge diversity. You see different kinds of families these days, including nuclear family, traditional families, etc. Then you have family roles and changing relationships, which include gender equality and experiences of family life, age, and family life. Gender equality and experiences of family life is changing these days because of the kind of awareness that the society has brought, due to which there is more gender equality and the experiences of family life have changed. Then age and family life are mostly concerned with the kind of healthcare that we have in recent times, due to which the age limit has increased and people live longer because of the good facilities that we have. Then coming to paper three, which is education. It includes education and society and education and inequality. Education and society mostly revolves around the theories about the role of education, education and social mobility, how if you are educated, you can come to the upper class, and then influences on the curriculum. This is mostly from the Marxist perspective, which says that the upper class has a very huge role over the curriculum, which we're going to get to when we study it more. Then we have education and inequality. This again has intelligence and educational attainment, social class, which is a very important perspective, and usually most of the questions in the paper three come from this. Then there's ethnicity and social. Coming to paper four, which includes globalization, media, and religion, and you have a choice to choose between two of these topics. So, globalization, according to sociologists, is an ongoing process that involves interconnected changes in the economic, cultural, social, and political spheres of society. This includes perspective on globalization, identity, power and politics, poverty and inequalities, migration, and crime. We're going to talk about more in detail in the future. Then comes media, which highlights how the impact of the new media in this society has changed and created people's opinions on certain matters. This includes traditional media and the new media, theories of the media and influences on media content, the impact of the new media, and media representation and its effects, which is very, very important. Media representation of class, gender, ethnicity, and age groups, and different models of media effects. And then eventually the impact of the media on behavior. Then comes religion. Religion and social order. Religion and society, religion and social order. Religion as a source of social change, which has proved to be very important in sociology. And then the influence of religion, secularization debate, gender, feminism and religion and postmodernity. This usually revolves around fe- feminists and their take, which is radical, liberal, and Marxists. So, paper 1 is for 1 hour 30 minutes, paper 2 is for 1 hour 30 minutes as well, paper 3 is 1 hour 15 minutes, and paper 4 is 1 hour 45 minutes. So, in paper 1, section A, there are 3 compulsory questions which you have to answer and you don't have a choice. For section B, there's 1 essay from a choice of 2. Then for paper 2, in section A, again, there are 3 compulsory questions, and then in section B, you have a choice from 2. This is 50% of the AS level and 50% of the AS level. Paper 3 is education. The candidates answer 4 compulsory questions. Question 4 is an essay which is of 26 marks, and I'm going to tell you how to attempt this to gain maximum marks. Then comes paper 4. Candidates answer 2 essay questions, which section A is globalization, section B is media, section C is religion. Each section has 2 essay questions. Candidates select 1 questions from 2 different sections. So now that I've talked about the paper pattern and given you an overview of the content, I'm going to talk about one of the past papers that I found. This is one of the recent past papers of February-March 2022, and this is paper 2, which is the family. So in section A, you have to answer all the questions, and in section B, you answer only 1 question. So the tip that I always give my students is that for every question, you must write notes on the question paper because it makes it super easy to remember what content you want to write in your exam, and this way you don't forget the important details. So question 1 says, describe 2 ways grandparents may provide benefits for their family. So immediately, whatever you think about, just write it down, whatever comes to your mind. So this can be that they have experienced experience of life, and then because of them, both parents can be working. Of course, this is what came to my head in a second. You have to elaborate this and write it in your own words and make it more appealing to the examiner. Then there's explain 2 strands of radical feminist view of the family. This is a oh sorry, missed the second the A part. Sorry. So question 2 A part is explain 2 ways that girls experience family life different to boys according to feminists. So for me, I feel like whatever comes to my head, I just write it down. And for this, I feel like it's gonna be that gender equality is still very real. Parents think that they can rely more on their sons, and that's why they want them to have a better education system so that in the future they can grow up and then they can take care of them and stuff like that. This is the feminist perspective. So, firstly, if you want to get extra marks in this, because this is an 8 marks question, you have to. I always encourage my students to write definitions of whatever they can find, like whatever keywords you find in this. For example, here it's feminists. You just write its definition, and that's just an extra point because the examiner is going to know that you have information about it. So, just write the definition of feminists in a way that you connect it with the question. Then comes explain 2 strengths of radical feminist views of this family. So again, this is a 6 mark question, and for this you should write, because this is a 6 mark question, you should also write again the definition of radical feminist. So when you're going to write that, And then you're going to write two strengths of radical feminists. You're going to get full points in this question. Then comes the main role of the family is to serve the needs of capitalism. Explain this view. So this is a very tricky question if you don't understand it. But if you understand and you know what to write, this is the easiest question ever. So, please say explain the view. Focus more on what the question says rather than the other side. The other side is very important, but your focus should be more on what the examiner is asking you. For example, the main role of the family is to serve the needs of capitalism. Here again, highlight the keywords, which here is capitalism. I recommend that in the first two, no, just in the first paragraph, you introduce the reader to what capitalism is and what are the roles of family. Then, when you start explaining this view in the second and third paragraph, you support this view, and when the fourth paragraph comes, you can also write the other side of the question, which you think that might be another main role of the family. Then, using sociological material, give one argument against this view. So, whatever you wrote here in the small paragraph, just write it down here, elaborate it, and write it down here. Then comes section B. And over here, you have to answer only one question. You have a choice. So, you either answer question 4 or question 5. Question 4 states, evaluate the view that conjugal roles are equally shared between men and women today, or evaluate the view that the nuclear family continues to be the dominant family structure. Question 5 is the most repeated question, and it comes every year, either in May, June, or October, November. So I will be providing you with sample answers that you can have a look at and understand the kind of content that the examiner is looking for. So this is the longest question in paper paper 2. So here you have to again write the definition of whichever question that you choose. For example, you choose this one, question 5. You write definition of nuclear family, which is going to be your paragraph number 1. Then comes paragraph number 2. Here you introduce the reader to, yes, if you agree with this, you say, yes, we see nuclear family as the dominant family structure today. Then you write paragraph number 3 to support it, and then paragraph number 4 as well to support it. Then comes the other side, paragraph number 5 and 6, which is going to be against it. You're going to introduce different kinds of family structures here. For example, you can say that no, there are traditional families today, because in today's society, both both men and women have to work, due to which the children require to be in a traditional society, which can include grandparents or aunts and uncles. So you can write this side, and then you can add another family type here. Two. Then comes paragraph number 7, where you write your conclusion. Whichever side that you agree on, whether it's this one or this one, you write the conclusion that, oh, yes, nuclear family continues to be the dominant family structure in today's time. Even though things have changed, it still remains dominant. And that's how you're going to end your question. Thank you. Have a good day.